Where's Williams now? Williams is at Eden Prairie High School out on the high ropes course. There you can see the dangling duo, the grapevine, the leap of faith. And right in here is generally where we do our outdoor cooking on Fridays. So just kind of wanted to bring it to the high school and give you a flavor of what should have been. So, hey, there's a tent here. Hey, what perfect timing. We're doing camping skills. So,
hey, what are you doing here?
It's Mr. Becker.
Oh my gosh.
Are you camping out here?
You know, I miss school so much. I thought, why not come over and just hang out here? What a great place. There's nobody around.
Wow, so this is your tent.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, you don't have a rain fly.
No, it's over here.
Oh, okay. And you know, like generally, so, you know, I've talked a little bit in videos. So Mr. Becker used to guide in the Boundary Waters back in the day. How old were you?
I was 21 to like 23.
Okay. So, you know, when we talk about a rain fly, why do you want a rain fly and like what size and all that stuff?
Rain fly, okay, most common mistake is that a lot of rain flies will come down. Whoa, watch out for that big stake. Oh my gosh, what a clod out there. Anyways, most rain flies you see from cheap tents will go to right about here, okay? The water's gonna come down. If it's hitting the side, it's just gonna go right in, okay? And especially if you touch the side, it like wicks it in. So you want a rain fly to go all the way down to cover. So it's gonna go all the way down to right about here. So nothing is gonna get in. It's gonna protect you.
Okay.
Okay.
So the rain fly actually is right here. We're not putting it on because it's a beautiful sunny day. So we've got a tarp here. How would you use this tarp with that tent? Like, you know, if we want to keep the water from seeping through the bottom of the tent, because there is nothing worse when the bottom of this tent gets wet, because then everything touching it, your sleeping pad, your sleeping bag, your clothes, whatever, going to get wet. So how do we waterproof it?
Okay. What I like to do is, I learned this from Cliff Jacobson. Is that his name?
It is, and it's actually on their worksheet today, their assignment.
Perfect. Okay. Cliff is an outdoor expert. So, common misconception is people will put this underneath their tent, and then what ends up happening is the water runs out, hits the tarp underneath it, and then goes in. All right. So what I like to do is form a bathtub on the inside of the tent. And so what I'll do is,
This is a massive tarp.
yeah, this is a fairly good sized tarp, and you can do this with like really thin poly that you would use for like even painting or something, just to protect the support. So what I like to do is go like this. I like to wrap it up. There you go. Okay. So what's going to happen is you're going to have your sleeping pad, sleeping bag, right? And water is never going to seep in. You form a bathtub on the inside.
Outstanding.
Just like this. Okay?
So you've obviously, so there you go. Tent construction. Hey, this is what I'll tell you too about being prepared. We talked about that this morning. Make sure you've got stakes. At a Jimmy rig, some stakes. Make sure your poles are all in working order. Make sure you bring duct tape in case you break a pole. Maybe bring an extra pole. But sometimes you've got to be creative. But again, be prepared. Make sure the tent's in working order. You got the rain fly. You got the stakes. You've got everything you need. You got the tarp. So, tell us about one more thing. You got something else?
I was going to say when you're done with it.
Oh.
There's always going to be dew on it. It's going to be wet. So you want to make sure you dry it out. It doesn't take that long, especially in the sun. Hang it over like a deck or something, whatever. But you want it over a fence, but you want to have it dried out. Otherwise, it smells like mildew, and you'll never get that smell out.
Okay. So you've been up a lot. Tell us a quick story about one of the, one trip where you're like, oh, we got to camp here.
Right. So my daughter, Katie, who's now 23, she was 9.
Here, I got you a log. We're about 8 feet apart. Why don't you sit down on the log?
Yeah. So the now police chief, Greg Weber, him and his daughter, another family, the Mensch family, we went up to the Boundary Waters, their first experience. They're not big campers. So we got up there and we got started late. One of the people couldn't get off work till like noon. We ended up getting up there late, and we had several portages to go. And these girls are 9 years old, right? We're going through. So it's a process. And so by the time we got to the lake I wanted to get to, the sun was completely black, okay? My headlamp ran out of batteries, juice went out.
So sunset.
was beyond sunset. It was pitch black by the time we got to the far end of this portage, and there's no way I was going to bring these kids out on the water then looking for a campsite in the dark. Made no sense. So we ended up camping on the portage, right at the mouth of the portage, and it started raining right when we got there. So it was quick. Okay, let's just set up. I mean, it was a terrible setup. I mean, we are on, it not a very big. They call it a sleeping pad. Is where most campsites in Boundary Waters have. It's a designated area where you're going to put your tent up, but there was nothing. There was tree roots, and it was just.
And one of the problems was it was dark and couldn't find sites, right?
Yeah, there's no way we could find a site. I mean, every single lake that we had gone through, they were completely filled.
And we talked about that earlier in one of the videos that, there are quotas, meaning there's number of permits they allow for each day, and there are campsites that are designated and you can't go anywhere. So if a campsite's being used, you've got to move on to the next, and some lakes can have one site on them, depending upon the size of the lake. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with the kids about distance learning?
All I can say is, I wish you guys had the experience to get out there. I hope you can go, talk to your parents, see if maybe they want to go with another family, but go to the Boundary Waters. There's no other place in this world like it. It's a top 50 thing to do in your life, and we have it right in our own backyard. So, Mr. Williams and I we're all over it. We love the Boundary Waters, and it's just, we've had so many great conversations about it. So, anyways.
All right, well, thanks for your time, and we'll let you get back to your residency, and maybe we'll catch you in 2-3 weeks and see how your house is doing here.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.